Throwing out some shrimp. I always keep them frozen, especially in the wild caught. All air out, frozen, so they don't get burned. And they last me all the week, and then I won't eat no shrimp for like about a month or two. Then I'll go and pick up a bag, like $27, smack load of them. I use them sparingly, anywhere from 4 to 6 every other day with some salmon. Just sort of omega-3 and omega-9. I'm not big on omega-6. When I want to, get my fat up or whatever, my healthy fat up. And then I'm always doing the green, you know what I'm saying? So I should be making the green smoothie right now. I just not feeling like it. And when you don't feel like it is when you should. I just don't have the taste for the bitters, and I need to do this. I was saying to myself, I'll do it before I go to sleep. I got a bunch of these. Sort of organic. It's certified organic green superfood, unsweetened. I don't like it sweetened. I want to have it bitter, so that way I know where my stomach's at. Because it's not every day I'm gonna run off to these fake doctors to get blood work. For bottom, so they can. Let me tell you, the system is so corrupt and perverted. It is, It's no fear. I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. I got to do what I got to do. The thing is, they are so committed to their lies and the deviations. It's so perverse. And it's like, I remember, what was that movie with I guess he's a coach. He's saying, old guy against young line. I guess that's supposed to be Don King's punk ass, but we already know he boule and he just worthless. You know what I'm saying? That shit is not our way. We don't pit one people against each other. All this competition shit is what kept us blind. Education system and you teachers, I gotta say this, fucked a lot of people up. Over the generations, these few handfuls since Theodore Teddy Roosevelt that fucked so many people up, especially since the 1960s. Fucked a lot of our generations up. Every 10 years, you know how many generations are born in? Every 30 years, that one. All right? We used to live a lot older. Our people have been destroyed for lack of knowledge, nothing else. Fuck all the perversions and everything else, and religion. And it is so inconversable. It's just so. I can't do it. With the foolishness. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I cannot partake in the complete hypocrisy and fuckery that's ongoing. It's disease state, man. I don't care what anybody says. It's truly a disease state. People can sit there and say what they want, but it's a fucking disease state of mind. Everything that's going on is disease. It's decrepit. It's just. I haven't been on here in a while. I've been uploading a lot of videos on Facebook, so I can reach people over there. I got a handful full of brothers and sisters on here, which I truly appreciate and everything like that. But I'm very passionate, and I am a man. There's no doubt about that. It's not without question. But there's a lot of people who don't understand what a man's position is, and it's sad that it's a lot of women, regardless of the young men that exist in many who don't know because of misguidance, misrepresentation, and the delusion. And a man who asserts himself, and not I mean not vaguely, and not in anger, but as he should, as that head. It's two heads to make a household, and then they nurture to raise his young brothers and sisters. Sometimes there's damage done on other parties who have not put in the hard work to understand the power of the voice. And there's women that's strong too, just like that. The power of the voice, and then the understanding that comes with the relation of it. I'm the individual that has worked so adamantly and so hard in this narrative to remove, not to be the incumbent, not to remove as much poison as possible. It's still plenty there. I mean, it's ongoing work. The thing is, though, I've come to grasp more knowledge as far as how the men of ancient moved, who are not, see, we're downtrodden. Our frequencies, our vibrations, our energy is low. It's almost like we have reverted to something that we never was. And that's what's been happening. And by no chance, believe me. So when the better of us stand forth, it doesn't have to be loud or anything, but that voice can be very assertive. You hear? And the contentious look of hate and rage and anger can sometimes be misconstrued, can be crossed over when somebody is being very direct and passionate, and be misconstrued for hate, anger, and rage when it's not even that. This stuff is not hard. There's a difference when you're concerned for your troops around you, the work, nobody's getting injured, and the look on your face when you have to discipline, and I don't like that word, but in this narrative, sometimes discipline is what it takes. Discipline only means to nurture, but we have been directed where it means to harm. I'm gonna section 8 your ass. I'm gonna slash 11 those materials, but I'm gonna I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna write this up on you. It's always been about threats and harm, fear. That's not what it's supposed to be about. My assertiveness is never about harming anybody. My assertiveness is you're gonna listen. You need to not just hear, but listen and understand. And I always say to people, if you have a hard time comprehending where I'm coming from, ask a question. Do not butt heads. Do not rival. It's not about that. Because anything I'm going to talk about is based on what I've been subjugated to and what I've been allowed. Just like I listen to everybody. But when it's headbutted system, we're not fucking rams. And there are times when, like me, I have been quiet and I've sat alone and I've listened for a long, long time. I've removed Facebook. That, right? Turn around, came over here. And I watched and listened. And every once in a while I would go on because nobody was really paying attention to say what needs to be said. Now I'm doing the talking. Why? Because I'm more aware of what needs to be said compared to what is always said. And I don't like talking about dark shit all the time. It's all well known what's going on. I'm not into that proverbial perverseness. I'm not giving it no fucking energy. When I say that, I mean it. It's not a turn around and that's not and where it's at, because I stand on my 10 toes. I understand when we give energy to bullshit, where it goes. And that's what creates the animosity, the envy, the zealousness, all this shit. Sometimes people need to know it's not, when you learn to talk, you got to teach yourself how to talk. And sometimes people aren't aware that they need to relearn how to communicate. And I've seen that this one group, vintage, and these young are always using this African American shit. I went up in there and I gave them business responsibly. Now, if they'd have been sitting around me, they'd have heard this. They would have been like, "Oh, we got an oligarch. We got somebody, and they would have felt defensive. But then they would realize, oh man, he's just really because the turnabout is how to suck them in, regardless of how, and then start hitting them with the knowledge. Pull these books up. Check this book. Do this. Go and see what you see over there. You're gonna still have those. You're still gonna have those who are gonna want to rival. Well, there's no old line and young line. I've seen the videos where the young lines protect the old line. Sometimes the old line gives up sway of the position and walks behind to be protected with two young, strong ones walking with him. While the new alpha is up front leading the pack. That's right. Two young bucks strapping for position walk with the old line to make sure he is protected. And sometimes some of the line is behind them in case straggling or depending on a hunt or where they migrating to, as we used to move. Big difference. Everybody wants to listen to these ecologists and this, that, and fucking all. Man, leave them lying sack of shit alone. They create all these names and labels and shit. There's nothing new. Only thing new is how often they fucking lie. I cannot partake in that. I don't have a problem with being wrong. No problem at all. Because therefore, that means that you're going to learn it appropriately, or take a break until something comes around that's based on affirmities. You know what I'm saying? That can be proved and you can feel. I need to connect to a natural order. So I don't get all this shit going on in this world. And these, one guy says, well, that's directed at me. I said, that's directed at everybody that believes in this, A, B, C, D. And if you one of them, then it's directed to you. What the fuck is this? You looking for a fight? An online fight? That's not going to happen, partner. That's exactly what I had to say. A lot of you youngins got it fucked up. And some of them, you're getting it together. But understand this. It's because you're learning from the best of us. As far as information, don't mean you know shit. A lot of us still don't know a lot. And women, we all have a place. It's not behind one another. It's not in front of one another. It's side by side. Now, I mean that. Everyone I've been with, I've given my all. I've helped in the kitchen cleaning because I have no problem with that. See, there's nothing wrong with that. I like to see a woman's touch. It's an invigorating, a lifting thing. It brings more of a man out of you. The appreciation. And to understand what it is they do. Doesn't mean that we have to do it always, but it's part of the diorama. Because the children aren't reared by themselves. They're nurtured and reared by both parties. And it's not about some fucking hunting, some made up mischief shit. No, it's about life. It's about the soil. It's about the trees, the moon, the sun. Getting back to the truth of things and how to carry oneself and the importance of our vibration, our frequency. Not why would man want to sound like woman? And why would woman want to sound like man? When they vibe harmoniously together and it serves a purpose. Do you even comprehend or get that? Never allow your fractures of life to define who you are. Because sometimes the beauty is so much grander and greater than what people have been subjugated to and what they believe. Sometimes I have to pull back because I love all my people. Man, I love my people with a fucking passion. But I make a selection on how I move and what I do, regardless of what's said. Sometimes I have to redact. Sometimes I have to reflex. Reflex. And then reflect. See, it's a beautiful thing. I understand why my mom and them were of the Wolf Clan, that side of the family. The toughness, what could be misinterpreted as bitterness because of a redirection of education to manipulate. To make the proud and fearful and warful brave, feel downtrodden and like a slave. Fuck that. I understand why my father's side was the Raccoon clan. Now, these things didn't always exist. They were utilized because they taught. And we respected them. Which walked with who? Who was the Possum clan? The Bear clan? And so on. We're all related. We are all related. Stop worrying about the fucking darkness and let the darkness worry about itself. This is enough. Allow yourself to breathe. There's enough sickness walking around. Especially at the so-called elite. They're the sickest of them all. Better yourself. One up yourself. I'm not going to be giving all the tea away. It just can't happen. Your green is within you. But know the difference from antagonizers, abusers, people who do harm, from those who are assertive, meaningful, and caring, compassionate, and loving. Know the difference. Because some is misconstrued for love and it's not. It's bad. And it influences so many and it's no good. A lot of us had real man around, when we were just men. And it took a long time for some of us to become the man we're supposed to be. Meant to be. A lot of us are still working on it. No, I can't stand these terminologies, but we're going to use it for this. For educational purposes. Rise above the occasion. My brother and sister. Rise above the occasion. Do not, I was going to say not like a fish gathering y'all, but do not let any of this bullshit define who you are. Don't do it. Don't. You'd be surprised what you're capable of. All right? There's not one woman that I've been with could tell you, man, they look, right now I can call two women on my other, apparatus video call, and not have this hidden and be talking. So, what do you think about me? I gotta ask them. Man, and one I know, she's gonna be like, I should have held on to you. The other one passed away. This one right here in Queens, she'd be like, well, I shouldn't have, I don't need people to make excuses, but she'll be like, I should have never let go. I just got to talking to my wife, my ex-wife, over in Millville, New Jersey. We talk sometimes we take a little break for 3 or 4 days. She's going through physical therapy. She had a major accident about 9-10 months ago. A lot of screws and plates. And I reached out to her and I said, I still love you, but I have to explain to you. And she said, no, I know, Jimmy. And she was so apologetic. And I told her, you don't have to be apologetic. Sometimes, you know what? I had to reevaluate a lot of things. No, I got first wife. She's just the epitome of the worst. But yet there's good there. Somewhere. I don't have no hate. And what people define when they do wrong and gaslight to make the other person the bad person, it's hard for them to let go of that even when they know they're wrong. Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you recognize? Do you comprehend? I don't want to be on it too long. I'm going to cook and I'm hungry. I want to go out for a night walk. Matter of fact, let me see how cool it is. Just like this. Oh, this is good night walking weather right here. Hell yeah. Oh, this feels good. Hey, man, it feels about 50 degrees out. I don't know, 50 something. I don't know. I ain't gonna jump in the truck and test the weather, but it feels good out here. Still, if you don't have your minerals and everything right, it's still flu and pneumonia season, especially with whatever they're doing up there. But oh, something else I wanna propagate that's off topic, but has everything to do with it. Have y'all ever paid attention that we always talk about the CIA here and what they're doing, the different airports, they're flying and doing all this aerosol spraying. We notice in Britain. What other countries do you notice the aerosol spraying happening at? Y'all call it chemtrail. That's not what it is. That's the act afterwards, the chemtrail. Aerosol spraying is the deed being done, is what it's called. How many countries do y'all see it? And then how many don't you? All right? I'm just saying. Anyway, y'all have a grand evening. I'm going to go and get these shrimp cracking, finish off the rest of this tea. And I'm going to holler at y'all later. They always doing their... I got to turn these damn lights on. Motherfuckers next door ain't going nowhere, but they busy watching. And I'll allow them. But, trust me, I'll allow them. Get the shrimp made. Got my dirty rice ready. I'm gonna make my green drink, take it with me, and put it in a container and just sip on it. But I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all have a grand evening.